I just got done watching a Lil Durk interview, and that shit was pretty weird. Like, it's like they didn't know what to ask him, and it got awkward a couple times. It was cool. It really didn't talk about a lot of shit. Music and Chicago. Not really going into too much detail about Chicago, but I mean, it was what it was. I don't really know. Like, okay, how can I say this without being like considered rude? All right, what is it about a lot of Chicago artists doing interviews? I'm not gonna say they don't know how to do interviews because they obviously do, but they just seem very awkward. Like they don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like if you watch Lil Bibby interviews, that shit is very weird to watch. Chief Keef, of course, when he went to the Breakfast Club, he don't even do interviews no more. So I'm just watching a Lil Durk interview, and it's like he answering the questions and shit, but those niggas just seem mad, like irritable, like they don't want to be there. But Lil Durk interview on the Breakfast Club was dope. I ain't really seen his Sway interview. Sway sometimes could be boring. I don't know if he on Hot 97, but the email part was hella funny though. I was looking at that shit like, yo, that's a wild email. Like I ain't never even got no crazy shit like that from no bitch. Like that shit was crazy. Like, and the part where it's like one of them niggas, I'm not gonna say which host is stupid, but she, if you listen to what they said the girl got two basically degrees in whatever, and one of them dumb niggas gonna say, yo, she sounds like she's young. If I remember right, when you go to college you get degrees, so how the fuck did she sound like she was a teenager or some kid shit when, I don't know, it could have been a fake email, could have been whatever, but I just thought that shit was hilarious, and you could just see Lil Durk rolling though, like, you know what I'm saying? And kind of cryptid email bullshit was that, but I don't know. He talked about Kiki Palmer, his baby mamas, his kids, his life. It was good, but it just seemed awkward, and it just seemed like they didn't have shit to ask this nigga, like nothing. It's like I didn't see motherfucking Air Sharon. Like shout out to that nigga. He was up there, and that interview was damn near an hour long. You know what I mean? So I just felt like they wasn't prepared for that shit. You know what I mean? And something Dirk said that didn't sit well with me was that he said he don't smoke or he don't drink. Now, if I'm not wrong, when you're a rapper, ain't you supposed to rap about shit that's real? Now, I know for a fact, I don't know what song, what mixtape, what project, I've heard him a numerous times say, talk about lean, talk about weed, pills, Zen, all that shit. So I'm looking at him like, hmm, if rappers don't supposed to be fake, why would you rap about some shit you're not doing? So I looked at that as one or two things, right? He said, in Chicago, you can't be high and drunk, slipping, lacking. All right, so what does that mean for motherfuckers that actually does that? Are they not in Chicago when they rapping that shit? Or are you saying they are in Chicago or they always lacking? I looked at that as one, two things. That ain't me, he said it. They talked about the Chief Keef beef. I like how he answered that. The game beef, you know what I'm saying? The Tiger shit. That was horrible how Charlamagne clowned that nigga. Y'all gotta go watch that shit if y'all ain't watched it. But I thought that was hilarious though. They talked about the Black China line, and then Charlamagne was like, so if you would have said this, it probably would have been crazy. I was like, damn. And you knew that the way he laughed, it was, hella funny to that nigga. They talked about RP to Chinks, RP to Chino, you know what I mean? I'm kind of not mad, but I didn't get why he didn't, speak on his cousin, Newski and shit like that. But he didn't give us really no information as far as the rest in peace Newski. Is he still about to do Sign to the Streets? 3, is it an upcoming tour? You know what I mean? Any merch anywhere? So it's just like, damn, you up there to promote your project. You ain't really do that much promotion. So I mean, it's not a bad interview. Maybe he'd been doing press all day or the whole, whatever, but it just seemed like, it's a pit stop. He just stopped through there because he was in New York, and boom, so he talked about his life, family. He moved his mom out the hood. He trying to move to LA. Just different little shit. It was cool, but it didn't really. If I wasn't a Lil Durk, if I didn't know who Lil Durk was, that interview would not have made me pick up an album. It wouldn't have made me Google this nigga. It wouldn't have made me listen to his mixtapes because I got nothing from it. Maybe that was just a bad interview, but I didn't really get shit from it. But that's just my point of view. Since I already know who Lil Durk is, I was expecting to hear some shit that I didn't know. Like everything he said, I already knew. You know, of course, he's not signed to Coke Boys. He's affiliated with them. You know, still he put out a great project. You know, for a debut project. You know, too much auto tune. You ain't seen my review, go watch it. But I just felt like that interview was like they built this shit up, you know, with pictures and everything, and it kind of was disappointing because I was expecting something totally different. You know what I mean? But that's the thing I just want to know: do Chicago artists not like, you know, interviews? Cause if you like try to type that shit in on YouTube, a lot of them niggas don't do interviews. I mean, they are there, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like nothing that's really. You can just tell they don't really fucking want to do the interview. I don't understand. It's like they don't understand press. You know what I mean? And promotion and shit like that. Not saying they dumb, but it's just like, I don't know why those niggas don't want to do interviews. And don't bash me for it. If you watch a lot of these niggas videos and shit, you see it all in the comments. If you go on an interview, they just, you feel me? You don't believe me? Go watch fucking Chief Keef interview on the Breakfast Club. Lil Durk did a way better job at that shit than Sosa did. But I don't know. You can't catch Chief Keef doing interviews. I just always thought that was weird. Like, why these niggas don't want to do interviews? Like, I want to see King Louis, Lil Herb, Bibby, you know what I'm saying? Shit, even Glow Gang up with that motherfucker. I think that'd be interesting as shit, but it's just like, no offense to Tato, don't bring Tato, because that nigga just too wild, bro. Like, that nigga just, don't let Ball Out talk, you know what I'm saying? I think Fredo Santana, Lil Reese, and, what's the fuck is his name? And Capo, those niggas can, you know what I'm saying, hold an interview fairly well. And SD, they need SD up there because that nigga can really hold an SD. He intellectual. He's an intellect, you know, smart, whatever. I said the word wrong. But I just wanted to know that. So what y'all feel about the interview if y'all watched it? If you from Chicago, could you let me know? Do they do interviews out there in Chirac? You know, what's the synopsis with why these niggas don't like to really do interviews and why they always look like they so paranoid when they in interviews? So other than that, yeah, I'm out. One!